here real quick and do a video while the information was still fresh on my mind. So the last couple of days I've been in some more of the DoD TAP classes. And so sitting in the class and hearing, everyone in there kind of talk amongst one another, there's kind of been a big consensus I keep hearing from a good bit of people in there is, not being able to do a Skillbridge or not being able to do, say, 180-day Skillbridge. So let's kind of talk about that for a minute, because you kind of have to be a realist when you look at this program, right? You have to realize that this program exists because we have so many unemployed veterans that it was costing the DoD so much money to pay unemployment benefits, right? And so the DoD Skillbridge program is basically exists to combat that. Like, it's not a nicety program for service members. It's the reality of it is it's there so they don't have to pay out unemployment benefits, right? The second piece of that is obviously, the big thing with timelines is your command being able to let you go for that time, right? So you're essentially shorting those that you work with. And I mean, it's obviously not something you're out to try and do. It's just, that's how it works, right? And so your work center has to be able to absorb your workload. And I mean, we've all been in, if you've been in for a minute, you understand that all the service branches are undermanned. We've always been doing more with less, right? And so you asking to leave, let's say a full 180 days early before you are slated to maybe get somebody to replace you on the manning dock, that's a big ask, okay? Especially when you're looking at it from the top down, right? And so I think a lot of times you hear people, kind of talking about, not being able to do a full 180 days or things like that. And I think a lot of times they think it's bias against them. And I don't think, maybe it is in some scenarios, maybe it could be, but I think overall, for the most part, I think those in the decision-making process and the ones that, are part of your command team that are the ones to sign off and say that, yes, you can go do a Skillbridge. I think ultimately, yes, they want to be able to say yes, but they also have a mission to do. They have a job to do that has to get done. And so if you leaving that early is going to be, detrimental to the mission, then yeah, they're probably going to be like, hey, 180 days is going to be tough, right? Another thing I want people to think about that one of the instructors in our class was talking about, 6 months is a long time. Do you really want to go intern for 6 months to learn something that someone off the street can maybe learn in a month? That can make that position, that internship, a very long time feeling thing, right? If you're doing something that's quick, easy to learn, and you're stuck in it for 6 months, and then it turns out it's nothing you want to do, even if they offer you a job at the end, it's not something you want to stay in. Because I mean, once you do the Skillbridge, once you sign up for it, you're locked into it. Otherwise, if you back out of it, you have to go back to your command. You have to go back to your military job unless you have enough terminal leave to cover. So that's something else to think about. Don't be in this mindset of, I must find something for 180 days. Because the reality of it is you probably don't need an internship that long. The other piece of it is okay, let's say you're trying to find a internship for 90 days and then you're trying to take another 60, 70, whatever it is, you've got saved up in terminal, and, you're still kind of being told, no, that's too much time. A lot of times what I hear is a lot of people get, a hard 90 days or, a hard 120 days. Everything, your terminal, Skillbridge, permissive, everything has to be in those 90 or 120 days. That's still more than people were getting 5 years ago. I'm one of those that's very grateful for the opportunity, and that it exists right now during a time that I'm getting out, because the reality of it is it didn't exist previously, and in a few years it's probably not going to exist in what it is right now for us that are transitioning out. So kind of step back and be grateful for that, and kind of realize, that you've got a unique opportunity that a lot of those before you didn't get to have. So I know it's tough to see that. It really is. You're kind of in that stage right now where it is about you. And it should be. I don't blame you for that, but you do have to kind of have that realism about it, just to kind of realize how the program works and things like that, that, factor into the manning piece and all of that. So just kind of keep that in mind whenever you're looking at Skillbridge opportunities and having those conversations with your leadership. Try and find that way to meet in the middle. Absolutely, if you're getting that, hey, 180 is going to be hard, counter back, be ready to say, okay, hey, there's another Skillbridge I'm looking at. I can probably do it for 60 days. I'd like to take another 60 days terminal. Do you think we can make 120 days work? Have those conversations and have them early so you know what the expectation is. I sat down with my command team almost a year and a half out, letting them know, hey, I'm going to be retiring this year. I'll be eligible for a Skillbridge on this date. I'd really love to be able to use this many days, et cetera, et cetera. And, together we kind of sat there and formulated a plan of what needed to happen in order for them to, support me doing a Skillbridge. So have those conversations early. A lot of times for lower ranking individuals, it's a little bit harder to get on your command's calendar, but do it. Talk to your supervisor and start working that, so you can have a sit down meeting and get that conversation started, because I think ultimately that's going to really be what helps you in the end. If you wait till, a couple of months beforehand and you're bringing it on your leadership of, hey, I want to do this Skillbridge in 2 months, it's probably going to be tough for them to say yes, because again, that manning piece of it, figuring that out, what's it going to look like with you gone, and how's that work going to get done? So again, do yourself a favor, have those conversations early, and I think that'll definitely help you out. Like I said, overall, I just kind of want to get on here, talk about some conversations I've been hearing during these TAP classes. I'm just kind of put that information out there for anyone that's about to going through this process. When it comes to the Skillbridge program, just be a realist with it, okay? Understand what it's there for. Understand that, we're kind of lucky right now that it even exists. So I know it's hard to think like that, but kind of you got to step back and be thankful for the opportunity that Skillbridge is giving to us right now. That's really all I got for now. Hopefully this again helps you out in your process as you transition out. For those that might be a few years out, hopefully this is kind of just some good information to have and understand. And again, in a few years, this might not even, it might be obsolete content, might not matter. Every year a program can change. So you just got to kind of stay aware of what's going on and what programs are ebbing and flowing, right? Again, I hope this content helps you out. If you could, subscribe, leave a comment, thumbs up. If you got any questions, whether it be, transitioning or just general military, ask them in the comments. I'll try and answer them. I am Air Force, so if it's an Air Force centric question, I might be able to answer it a little bit better. But regardless, I appreciate your time for watching the video. Again, hope it added some value to your day, and I'll probably see you on Sunday. Thanks.